My dreams become a reality, and despite the onslaught we faced over the last few weeks, as if the whole world was against us, the British public have stood firm, they've backed UKIP, and we've won a national election. I'm over the moon.
How would you describe last night's result?
I think it is a political earthquake, because I think the implications for Nick Clegg are very serious indeed. The implications for Ed Miliband are serious indeed. And for David Cameron, perhaps not quite as bad, but that debate, that split within his party is going to continue. And whatever anybody says, oh, well, you know, UKIP have done well in this, but they can't repeat it next year. I've been looking at some of the constituencies, seats in which we've won council seats, seats in which we've topped the poll, and it's clear now that we have a targeting strategy for next year that is valid.
Are you now the third party in British politics?
I think we are. I mean, I think we've beaten the Liberal Democrats in a whole series of elections recently, and the gap between them and us is enormous. Yes, they've got seats in Westminster, we haven't, but I think UKIP is the third force.
Are there now deals to be done then with the other parties?
I'm not so sure there are. I mean, they absolutely despise us, and in policy terms we're completely different. I do not think that under David Cameron's leadership he will allow any kind of joint ticket come the next election, the sort of deal that Jacob Rees-Mogg and others have been calling for. No, we will plough our own furrow, and we'll do next year what we've done this year. We'll go on surprising people.
How do you believe this will translate into a general election?
I think our target seat strategy is now clear. Look around at the seats last night in which we got over 45% of the vote. Add to that last year's county council results, the district council results on Thursday. UKIP is going to win seats in Westminster next year.
How many?
I don't yet know the answer to that, and perhaps we'll have a clearer idea after the Newark by-election, which of course takes place next Thursday.
Now, you debated with Nick Clegg. What sort of message does this result send to him?
Well, I mean, he put his entire reputation and that of the Lib Dems on those debates, on this election campaign. It could hardly have gone worse for him. And, the Liberal Democrats, they got rid of Charles Kennedy, they got rid of Ming Campbell, they've showed themselves to be pretty ruthless, and I think his position as leader of the Lib Dems is now pretty untenable.
So do you think come the next general election the four leaders of the four main parties will be the same, or will they have changed?
No, they will have changed. I have no doubt about that. The leadership of the Lib Dems will have changed. The really interesting thing is, what will the Labour Party do? Are they going to go on denying the British people on a referendum that will allow us to get back control of our borders? Because open-door immigration is affecting millions of Labour voters in this country adversely, and that to me is the big debate. If the Labour Party decide not to match the Conservative pledge of a referendum, then Miliband will be UKIP's greatest recruiting sergeant at the next general election. For too many years now, people have thought the UKIP vote is a splinter off the Tories. What you saw last night was UKIP digging deep into the old Labour vote.
You sure UKIP hasn't just peaked?
Well, I've heard before that UKIP's peaked. I heard it in the last European elections, I heard it in the county elections last year. Everyone keeps saying it's the high tide mark for UKIP. I think the party's got real momentum behind it. I believe we will translate that into seats in Westminster next year.
Are UKIP still not just a bit of a one-man band, though? Aren't you UKIP?
Well, I'm hardly a shy and retiring figure, but I accept I've been fairly dominant. No, I mean, I am going to rejig the party over the course of a summer. We're going to get spokesmen and spokeswomen taking responsibility for specific areas: health, education, defence, and I think you'll see a bit less of me over the next few months.